Hello, folks. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Steve, and I was diagnosed with liver cirrhosis back in October 2025. Today is 26th of May 2026, and it is hot outside. I love it when it's the weather's nice. I said a few times, I feel the cold quite a lot. So I'm certainly not one of those people who sort of goes off about it being cold and wet and rainy and windy. And then the minute it's hot, going, oh, I'm too hot, I'm too hot. No, I love the heat. And anyone who follows my Tooth Talks Travel YouTube channel will notice that as well. We quite often, we were quite often out and about in very warm places. So I did the washing today, hung the washing outside, and I had a sweat on after it. The only issue that I have with the heat now, I never used to, but now, is the fact that I have to be very careful about the amount of liquids that I put in myself and therefore retain, which is why I'm on spironolactone and furosemide to try and manage that and keep it okay. So in the last week, I've put on 2.2 kilos, which for those of you who still speak old money is about a third of a stone. And I've noticed that my ankles have swollen a little bit, so that'll be edema. And this will be like the sort of second or third time that I've seen this pattern of drinking too much and then getting ascites or edema, normally both together. But it's the first time that I've had medication at home, and B, been told exactly how much to drink. So one of the consultants, the specialist at the hospital, said to me that I shouldn't be drinking more than about a litre a day, a litre and a half at the outside. And if I happen to be somewhere where it's really, really hot and I'm losing an awful lot through sweat, then I can push that up to sort of like 2 litres, but that should be few and far between. It should be like the exception rather than the rule. So I'm feeling thirstier as a result of the heat, but at the same time, I've got a fly knocking about the gaff. At the same time, I also need to then keep an eye on my weight and my fluid retention, and that is the real driver of where I'm at with stuff, because that's more important. That sort of shows me what's going on inside my body. It's like an external sort of marker that shows me how my body's coping with the amount of liquid and the amount of toxins that it's got inside of it. So, of course, the other thing that I've got is the lactulose, which also reduces the amount of fluid inside me by pulling that in through the bowel lining, and basically into the poop. So that's another thing that's good. The other thing that I just realised, because I am pretty like sort of confused when it comes to this stuff and keeping on top of it, is my vitamin B complex, vitamin B compound complex, whatever we're calling it. It's a new one that I'm on, and I haven't been taking enough of that, so I should have been taking it 3 times a day, and I've been taking it once a day. So that now needs to go up. So I'll have two that are 3 times a day. There's that and the lactulose, and then the furosemide and the spironolactone and the thiamine will be, and the beta blocker will be just once a day. So I've got to pop up to the GPs this week. In fact, I need to check after this and make sure on my NHS app that they've approved the repeat prescription, and then pop up and get that. So yeah, it's been a bit of a day of not doing loads and loads. I slept until about 11 a.m. Excuse me. Ugh. But I had a sort of like a long nap yesterday afternoon here in this chair. Just because I was tired, and of course then I couldn't sleep last night. Even when I went to bed at 1:30, I was lying awake for ages. So I don't think I got off to sleep until about 4 o'clock. So 4 till 11, 7 hours is about right. So yeah, my sleep is sort of up and all over the place at the moment. That is one thing that the heat doesn't help with, because I find myself sweating quite a lot. And where I took off my final dressing from the GPs, I still had a very minor amount, minor sort of like wound site. So I rewrapped that with stuff that I've got myself. So I use, having bought from Tesco, I've got like a stretch bandage, and then I've got like sort of self-adhesive blue bandage that goes on top. The reason I wear both of them is because my calf muscles are an awful lot bigger at the top than they are at the bottom. So very, very sort of muscular. And of course, what happens is if they slip from the top, then they just go all the way down. So I need to be able to hold them in place. So I use the white stretch bandage as a way of mopping up any sort of blood or anything that's going to come out of that wound site. Nothing nasty coming out of it. Just a wee bit of blood, I think, from like sort of scabbing. So yeah, so the white bandage is for that, and then the left band, the blue bandage, I start it off pretty tight at the top, and of course, because it sticks to itself as it goes down and around, and then I can bring it back up a little bit. It keeps the white bandage in place. So yeah, it does the job. I should really be able to get that on the NHS, but for now, I mean, she gave me a load of stuff for nothing. So for now, hopefully that's going to be a done deal very soon. So it won't be an issue so much. Anyway, I am going to leave it there for today, people. So let me just say, be nice and be kind, because you never know what people are going through. And laters potatoes, off you pop.